Hey guys, WASR here to talk about my WASR-10 AKM variant. Identifying features of the AK series of rifles are a curved 30-round magazine, pistol grip, wooden stock, and wooden furniture on the front, in addition to the large front sight post. On mine, which is a Romanian WASR, I've added a forward wooden hand grip for stabilization during shooting. The WASR-10, like all AK models, has a fire selector / dust cover on the right hand side. In the up position, it places the weapon on safe, preventing the bolt from being retracted any further than this point, and when in the lowest position, it will be single fire only on the WASR-10. On military AK models, there is an intermediate level, which serves for fully automatic fire, but this is a WASR-10, so that option is not here. Now, one disadvantage of the AK series rifles is that the selector level is not easily accessible by the fingers of the shooting hand, so to get it into action quickly is quite a challenge compared to a weapon like the M16 series of rifles. The WASR-10, like most AK models, features a bayonet lug for mounting a bayonet. On here I have my lovely Romanian AK bayonet with a Bakelite handle. The sights on the WASR-10 consist of a front post protected by two machined metal wings and a sliding tangent rear sight, just like on the SKS and the Mosin Nagant series of rifles. The sights are adjustable from a battle setting, which is P, which is good up to 100 meters, all the way up to an extremely optimistic 1,000 meters. Now, the AKM and the WASR-10 are fed from standard capacity 30-round magazines, which hold 30 rounds of 7.62 by 39 millimeter ammunition. Rounds can be either single-loaded or used with stripper clips and a stripper clip charger, which is what I use. Alright, so there's a few key components of a WASR-10 that allows it to operate. You have the trigger mechanism, recoil spring, bolt and bolt carrier, and then the gas piston. The AK series of rifles and the WASR-10 operate on the long stroke piston principle. As the projectile leaves the barrel, some gas will be tapped off here into a gas cylinder, and it will push this gas piston backwards. As the gas piston moves backwards, it takes with it the bolt and bolt carrier. As the bolt travels back, it rotates to unlock, and it continues moving rearward, gets compressed against the recoil spring, and it cocks the hammer. On the return stroke, the bolt slides forward, picks up a cartridge, and places it into the chamber. And then as the bolt moves forward, it locks itself by rotating. Then the trigger is pulled, and the cycle starts over again. On the WASR-10, the trigger is designed to where it's single fire only, so holding down the trigger will only result in one shot. So this system is extremely durable and reliable. The length of travel is actually 50% greater than necessary for the system to operate, and that's made that way so that it can overcome any sort of dirt or grit that's inside the system. In addition, the gas piston is hard chrome plated to reduce corrosion by the corrosive primers commonly used in communist block ammunition. This is extremely forgiving in terms of foreign debris. However, there's a disadvantage to the system. It's the very large mass that moves back and forth with each shot. So rapid fire will easily throw the gun off target, and the 7.62 by 39 is a relatively hard kicking round, so during rapid fire it's very difficult to keep an AK on target. Internally, the WASR-10 and AK series of rifles have a very, very simple trigger and hammer mechanism. When the bolt comes back, it pushes back the hammer and locks it in place. And then to release the hammer, the trigger is pulled and the hammer flies forward. And then for each shot, the whole method repeats. The bolt drives the hammer back, the hammer locks, and then to fire again, the trigger is pulled. Now the AK series of rifles disassembles into just a few components. The most important components to field stripping are the top cover, bolt, bolt carrier and gas piston, the recoil spring, and if necessary, the gas tube. The gas tube does not have to be removed to field strip the rifle, but it's just an additional step that can be taken. And this is just extremely simple to take apart. For the bolt and bolt carrier, it's very simple to take them apart. And this is what it looks like when you take it out of the rifle. And all you need to do to remove the bolt is simply push it back and pull it out. And that's the complete bolt. And if absolutely necessary, the firing pin can be removed with just a few more simple steps. And then there you go. That's how you put the bolt back together. Field stripping the WASR-10 is extremely simple. The only steps needed to be done are take the weapon off safe, pop the top cover, push forward on the recoil spring and lift out, and then remove the bolt. Very, very simple.